Everyone, excuse the light. I have no control of the lighting in this space. Today's video is the start of me creating a jig. Oh, and by the way, this is just a temporary location where I can do some woodworking. So you'll see that in part 2. Today we're going to start by designing and printing a jig for a project that I'm working on. So with that, let's get into this, get it going, and cue the intro. So what you see me here doing is I'm starting the design process of the legs. I already worked out the table. I didn't need to design anything for that at this point. I'm going to have to go in later, but that's another video for another time. So right now I'm determining the width of the legs, the thickness of the legs, that 45-degree bevel where the 2 screw holes are going, and I'm trying to determine how to get those correct, because these are very technical things that need to be done correctly. If not, if I don't design my little jig right, these won't fit properly. So this is important. It's not very creative, I'll grant you that, but it is absolutely necessary and it's absolutely important to do. So once I have these set, we're going to move on to the next step. And that's actually design. do that, then we're going to start designing our jig. And we're going to create a couple different parts to this jig. One part where I can set this at a 45-degree angle and work from there. I'm thinking of using a couple wedge pieces, printing those out, and so I can lock the wood in place. At least this is my thinking at this point in time. So we're going to create a jig that will hold the length of the leg, so where I can place these pieces in a couple different locations and shift them around as needed. And then we are going to move on from there and create the other end, which is the part that actually is the jig, where I'll be doing the carving out of the 45-degree part where the 2 screw holes are going to be, and the location where the 2 screw holes need to be, along with the jig for the other part that's connected to the table, where I need the 2 screw holes for that corner piece as well. Making sure our screw holes are in the right spot. This is important that they get in the right location and the size will fit the drill that the drill that I will be using to drill the holes, because we need to make sure that the metal ring will fit properly. That's going to go into these wood pieces, and if they don't fit properly, then we're going to have to go through this whole headache again. So it's best to do it once, not twice. So that's what we're doing here and planning this out. I'm also trying to plan it out so I minimize the amount of supports, because I really don't want to have to sand that bottom. It's just going to be too much of a pain to do so, to make sure that's right. So making this in a couple pieces, one piece that I can glue on, that'll help slide it in and lock it into place. Initially, that's the plan. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to be placing this on the print bit, how I'm going to assemble the piece together to work properly, and how it's going to lock into place. As much as I say this would work, and it probably would, I think it's just overkill and it limits my flexibility. So I've decided to go back in and change this a little bit. What I'm going to do is cut off the bottom, cut off the sides, and then create create a 45 leg to support that 45 degree. So a little bevel for the leg to sit in. And we're going to cut off the cap concept of this. So there is no cap to it. It's just a part that slides on at a 45 degree angle. And you know what? By doing this, it's going to give me a little bit more flexibility as far as being able to make the leg any thickness that I may want in the future. So I may be able to make this jig a little bit more flexible for anybody who needs something similar. The only issue there will be the width and the thickness of the two holes and stuff like that. But that's here, not nor there. This is meant for one specific purpose. And that's what I'm doing now. So that's just to give me a little bit more flexibility in the future if I decided to go this route with another table. Just trying to do some forethinking. I don't know if I'm ever going to use it again or not. But if I do, great, I have it. Alright, with that, I'm going to wrap things up here. Again, I'm in the same location, same lighting, deal with it. Sorry guys. As I wrap this up, the jig here, as we know, I kind of screwed up on the first one. Well, I didn't really screw up. I changed my mind prior to printing, and I felt this was a better route to go. And you know what? I'm glad I did, because I think this was going to work out well. All right, and then with that, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to ask you guys to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, because there is another video connected to this coming up, and there will be more connected to what the jig's for, the project itself, that we will be going over. That should be a fun rest of the rest of this little bit. Excuse my little blunder. The rest of this little bit from this point on should be a little bit of fun. I'm obviously not going to really show you any woodworking because my skills are subpar, if you want to say, compared to a lot of the other people on the internet. So those guys are better at giving you instructions than I would be. All right, so this jig is for, as we already know, for a leg. You'll see more of that in part 2. And then we're going to go from there. All right, catch you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon for more. Catch you later.